the president. Rather than say a soldier for an opportunity to boy defeat. It's your petition. Yes, you do could be an other petition on a crime and answer it.
Almost will put out false information, but we'll put out false information. Yeah,
I don't know why petition. Until put why petition for one put out information or yeah petition. And Timon responded to petition and cast the woman be and Tessa and the president and because she need petition. What me can say? And now why if you who say I didn't cry and judges no. Woman will be a mutapie.
All right, I was saying you will be a kwaba na yemfa Mega TV platform we eso. Meso say we do comment betum na wa like na wa subscribe to the channel e conversation ya me di ebre we eso. Nina ni say Kwabena Agyei Agyapong a former aspirant at the presidential aspirant at the NPP amanyoku no. Na owurawe wa react to Kumi Adenta ne arrest afin so chema Wontumi de waka wasem ena NDC aban hawa omusi omuniema esifa efa adechia yachiwe adechia nkofo agbawura we fi yewura mokaya finance minister no dikai no eno moye ne sa finance minister no eno mo sha se so mo di finish so yewura the dinkra edisenyi kinufurata na wa react to science way wa kan sim bebre e dia fa ho na mempese mema mekasa yetinte de yenko na yenkoti Kwabena Agyei Agyapong the former aspirant edima MPP amanyuku no yekoba yedina kina beto aso meso se do comment betum na wa like idmedi na wa share na foforo enyibia hwe hanom you are number 1 authentic platform Mega TV guswa esevumo the best of news yakopon koswa enshira yenti nsani bi we ewo Wontumi TV wati ase yemfa credit na emomo bra keke ko kwaku cancer tenase yekoti nsani bi yakoba beto aso
Ayena mentiase. This has to stop. Wrong. Somebody has to bring it to the attention of the president. So we know embarrassing to his government and sending the wrong signal about our country Ghana. Ghana here, or maybe it has become an oasis of peace in the sub-region. We are seeing now most of their operations almost central Ghana because about 2 a.m. crying out nama wouldn't say happen to you. And as a state institutions na I also boy home by now. I fed huna and they be when nipa there. We need to say asem papa. We need to be very frank with the president and let him know that the buck stops at his table and he should take action and stop what HSM say. Because I will charge me who are attorney general, who have so many organs of state, intelligence, ukra. So why bonia unim ena yemra no so kire say o frame me krase me nko police me ko dura met makasa me nkasa into the fact say obne me kono kire say obenya ho mfaso because mo assembly ebebu me fo a say me mfama. The law allows you to remain silent. So into the end one krase me hwe nkrofo na videos na mehu and it's a pattern. Almost dressing, they don't look like professional police.
Yes.
This is like a ragtag army. And this is not supposed to be allowed in our country. It's very embarrassing for him as president, embarrassing for the country. Some rogue elements be within the state security now. I a mistake. But it is becoming a constant pattern. And no pay a brand here, Muko Nifi. Or ye civilian. We are crowd no, I feel no free pep.
Yeah.
Man, no cause son who cry, yes, company. What kind of society are we building? Say what by me fee. One kind of all by me fee. Me Pia Bishia, a dear summer, who see Enfamra headquarters. Enfamra headquarters, a DNT Enfamra headquarters. The law does not give the state security any he say no, there has to be a reason. And I say so court koji a court warrant near the betcher now kind warrant and betcher at the frontier judge no approve say police for mre fear no message fee uhwe nipa so there's no identity no say actual say NIB say BN and na mwasan hye battle ready mususu mu ko civilian fee there's no chance on no betu mutuo mu no mu krokretuo enti I think the ekoso no emfata is something that all serious-minded patriots of our country should condemn. We cannot support this kind of behavior, and it's becoming one too many. Sorry, NDC, for the president who is responsible for running the executive arm of state. It's too early for you to even pass. Media to get their feet under the table, to get to grips with a juma, a diamond so money. Tia nanka first year no crana, Mima Femudi, Yana Mempesi Becca a buying wasem baby. So, Nanso so near me BS is here, fata. Say, aye binumu say ye was soja bemwa, to be buru fie near Rinround. Ye come on, to say, Omuntimi will be our Ghana. They should not do that. Because woman here a civil disobedience. And also Ghana here cool basabasa. And so be a bibina emfata ye omra kwanso. Nti police for betima invite no. And no cry or kwan faso. Muna ofiso be a bibia. Wona say oye ojuma. He who alleges must prove. Nyamia wo kan se mato me so na ese ba be defend me ho wo na wo kura se na de akokot na wa chichirim na se eso adin a judge o te adwam ana jury ho aka bibi aka se bia pani wa ye boni nti bia ntwa so. That is the country we want to build. And see, after 30 years of democracy in there, it is very disappointing to see some of these things happening. And Rechi, yet is a BBC or Cote d'Ivoire. But Burkina Faso, we are so just near Yen Pebi or Ghana. You move near Mrantia pa 79. I'm all from 5. My classmate, you kuni papa kuni yiriku. Ewo because soja for burani fee. Just because Oye Nejuma as a judge advocate in a military trial. Nejuma no Oye. And so you kukuno keke. Kunkrama ofi onyina eniema akoso Ghana no eniema eyasefem nti nkola no na yenwo mo at the time no mo taking niema for granted no mo fetu happily walking about with guns no. I think it is the duty of the president to put a stop to that immediately. It has to
na kwabna said you be hu mpo se we no ye genuine APA NIP for assassin say that those obi abatumi abon every.
There is no identity. And mpaboa crash kwanye police issue entire shall be crash at normal shows near the bibia which I won't say a man ye hu kakra so because nipa boni for betim de hu afrem near bedu boni enti idea all well-meaning Ghanaians should stand up, be counted, raise their voices to the president, who is the one responsible for the internal and external security of this country. This cannot go on. It has to stop now. Tunyai na emfata omano oni edia man so onhwe so enso eye nyina edia ntinye de opebia na obetimi aye. Yes, I will have to advise ourselves and mobilize ourselves to defend ourselves, and we don't want to do that as a people. We don't want to throw this country into chaos.
Yeah.
Nti omunyai de omoye no emfata eti se de mami a omo harasino Ghana democracy ejina enamiensa so executive kurabako, parliament kurabako, and a judiciary kurabako. Executive every 4 years president oko Ghana for ni yeto no so aba. Parliament so omuyesa judiciary nko enyesa because omo de is a revered institution, a person a protected institution no which ne bia ho kire bi ba ho na betima dan wani ahwe akonya nkranhye anase yebeji wo. And so the attacks on the judiciary should stop. Me, time I may run as a presidential candidate for the NPP during the 2023.
Okay.
Me can send me my views on the constitution. Say one, there should be a cap on the Supreme Court. And I feel say a country like Ghana, we can do with no more than 11 justices of the Supreme Court. I even feel we can do with 9. Number 2, me can say law and tese me engineering to be so namuru am na kotu to form we site investigation awia ne ahodin to nyina na edin and they out them na wo tro nti omo nyini kra no omo ye more experienced nti ke benya a Supreme Court judges no ye remove sa 70-year cap no because na say me share former chief justice eni yeboa otum sa ahodin pa wo mu a ko betima aye adwuma abrochimem entina hono Supreme Court judges chense aduru baby oni ahomeji a chese obetimi aye adwuma because of health reasons oni apomuden sana ese meka no ananse se bi onyankopon afre no mu afrim enti the chances for a president so obenya nominate a fresh Supreme Court justice no yana it doesn't come many times because in your 8 year span nipa say ne bewu nipa say ne be retire and no president can come and say I'm packing it with either conservative judges or liberal judges into your campaign with the presidential candidate the attacks on the judiciary and President Akufo-Addo are packing court no with any favorites but it is a fact to say Tembia na President Akufo-Addo be nominated obi no ne bia obi call retirement and na obi afrim there was a vacancy and son our fairly vacancy no but me feel say sa vacancy no cry because ya pege year 70 years into vacancy na ban tem do into esa and my president be opportunity mo appoint judges into one way ya na ekoyese ono de ne nkrofo nko ana into emra no na enya yensesa no and I think that the Supreme Court judge can be on the bench till they are medically incapable of doing their work not just call retirement medical leave and as I say be nyankopon friend be a free then you replace it ekobanisa the bench no ensesa first yesusa no appeal court ni ade na nipa kakra bi o me na papa e judge I know nipa kakra bi that time of course military and international Supreme Court ni and then I'm say President Muhammad 7 judges there is no vacancy yes be a vacancy be aba just because of few say president no chairman no enya opportunity dey nominating crofo because vacancy buy enti ne kwan paso ne senka ese wo twen na se obi do retirement age 70 na se e kwan be da no appoint but at one fell swoop 7 judges say at my last count we have about 20 19
or so
20 Supreme Court judges nansen crofo be the almost salary e big almost they retire on their salary
yes
a double one or retire yetua fufuro na yede ne bazo a yetua o man so yesi eniska we are living outside our means beyond our means enunti na hayen tiniema bi o ha me feel say emfata edi e pa na maami ya eye grave obuni be ka say the gravity of the asemo yesi wa ya enti ese yitu na de so we are president the petition ba enti na we are president on the face of it o kindness o feel say frivolous o ho kwan say obeka say we dey menyin say me dey be kwa koma council of state kra nti the excuse say ono de ne dia na say oji ana de ko na kenke beka emra no beka say enfan koma council of state straight ye the bad president because ono hwe o mine so nti ono na dwen betimi a kire say da bi we dey I don't think say there's a need for anybody to respond to these and some matete no very frivolous nunti precious time is being wasted to try and remove the chief justice and to me feel say how is bringing unnecessary pressure to bear on him the president first year cried yen to so ababio feel say niema ehu hia niema edin those difficult decisions are the difficult decisions are kasese de ka wo be ye na wo de age udin na wo ko because unhia say obe please anybody nemum hwe niema wo ye ehu fa so ne say so enti me de me futu kakra me nim no personally yes enti nwanwa enti I don't know if it is him who is sitting down and allowing Sanyeme to go on and on.
But I say I also several times. It yen to me say you be blame. Oh no,
that is why we have a president. And to be beside the same time, time a ye Charlotte say I never agreed because ya kotoba opposition man for never on fire or declare candidate as president. Anyebia or declare. Of course, there were internal issues. Bia is not emphata and yet dear. But me feel say it wasn't grave enough. Say you be nipan. But it happened. And non say be happen. Na enya ese babe repeat it. We have to learn from history. And yema koso na enye Auditor General there. And you say na me mfwaso na kan time be 3-4 months bia or call retirement. Jano. So, Nina, it is the hawks in both political parties. And I'm sure there are some rogue elements in the security system. The president has to put a handle on them and check them. Yes, on be good anymore. So, no answer na yes, there. Onya could drone conscience on na nya could room facing no. And chen said, yes, I know. Minim nunti, minin ni se, nipa na minim no no. Sa no te. Tina me kana sa.
But Mr. Kwabena Agyei Agyapong is my guest on the show this afternoon. Panini yadeno chuchin common. But Kwabena ansan yebeko other matters mo. What count Chief Justice there? Just linked or related to Adenta Kumi ensem. Sa footage embroidered by me. So when your opportunity is shabia as the son of a judge, late dad, no. Sa footage no who say mom's meeting say exchanging of life no
ejuma a lonely job edin pa me papa na danfo justice redu justice abuaje say when any baby call woman the pressure to no so no person be judge bom fu say into free mo omo ya papa. Because I said I'm gonna pushy no say uncle judge. Na me papa say no near damfo. Na damfo back on why say ni nia damfo. Nti ono kra no ofiri mu no nchen na me kotran. Friend Mr. NT. Wono pe na me say me papa damfo no. Because other say judges na e wa damfo. No kra no so be sorry akọ obi fia na ma hu say papa kotran ba bi si okodidi. And because it was catch the worm. Oh yes, it is part of they know it. Code of conduct no more work. One PP when judges abonting. Tell you abonting. Once in a while, be a kushia ubi wo baby no cry no. Enya dia normally say Chief Justice who say what yes or very reprimandable.
Most of the times there's
because it say udi asem. Nipa so enim to say crucial answer. So who them say. Enti nwanwa say such an elite restaurant. No, perhaps the most topmost restaurant in this country. Minimum. Because minimum the any there. Say ombekasi ekudidi wo. I find it very strange. Minimum time near say enyumre kakra be
7:30 to 8 there.
Yes, wo fia o ira no aduane amaudi. No, I'm crashing there. Let's be serious with this country. So, unfortunately, oh,
okay.
Kolendi, my friend said, because no, Akufo-Addo Chambers. Time I am a cohort and now a young man I feel about. Timini pa, family, madam for no. I just say in times was me to me to kwa bruching that together. One day madam for Ankasa. Ena puaman so me dey your club bi nipa no also club of general secretaries me general secretary no general secretary of PNC.
Yeah.
Nti yeko kufudu akoye reforms ni na me na nti na mfo I say Professor Demensa former vice chancellor the be hunam so club of general secretaries no Dr. Lima mo party no so general secretary nti share na e dey asre na say Ivo Green Street I'm say club of general secretaries there e dey asre nti minimum minim say omo wonim de they know the law, they know what the score is nti eye me nwanwa se BBC be kwa akosi kade me pese mete ne se ebia na eye coincidence ebia wiase wo ho atoro bia otumi ye one slip bi na bi kura na omo nim se papa no wo ho bia na omo kodidi ampa so I would rather say because it is true ye share but we dey na ye kodidi normally en call out ye judges dey na die na nka ye se ye kodidi na hwe in masa atimisi so what can I say? But first the response from Theodore Sorry said it is a monstrous lie and bibia currency. That was before the videos came because I'm saying no nim say be ana videos bi ho and I say footage bi ho ono lawyer na say more kind and he was exposed at least there was a meeting whether it was planned or unplanned and dey nyame nim so they mention but there was a meeting and there was familiarization which is something they should not necessarily be doing because womunim semra say who a lawyer now who appear before a judge for a client say who person will call judge no chance the other only no adversary now no work court no they say the lawyer can and they will be meaning me na ko chamber they be amoko discoveries be and say name be me kakra me nim because me papa no ko chambers atwe me timi di nachi timite dem wo me hu de ekoso emisa so enti ade we no me na me nim de ekoso me tibi o radio so say young man no aye petition say mpanimfo ya koshia and some more discuss here there say minim also almost say almost discuss me ke bia me kan so me kan say bia me hu so makoshia so no discuss here there minim because name be your word against their word enti when should they petition there the man minim the petition or the command president enti president is ultimate him who feel say frivolous what catch say we mean say there if you say serious bet me my was there a meeting on this date at this time were these people present? Was it a planned meeting? So almost share and answer a impofrim and answer a coincidence because if we are say any night me a mistake etimimba obi ana wonim na so be share no utimi ko share until rather that is the response I was expecting from the president rather than say a soldier for an opportunity boy boy defeat it's your petition yes you do ko be na other is a petition na crime and answer there
almost we put out false information but we put out false information yeah
I know I petition until we put why petition for one put out information or yeah petition until mo responded to petition and case the woman be antisa anti president and because she need petition utimi kanesa and now why if you mo hu say adeno kra no na judges no wo munya obi a mutapie but enda no na him say a coincidence etimi serious na me pitimi si but the aggression wo de akọ anopetututu na me hwe papa yire abrante yire esu kikemu ya be fa no na the arrogance of the officers. These are not professionals. They are not trained properly. So one nipa ni nim se wo benefia no pa. Wono kra mo de force takashi enabi. That is not right. You have no right to forcibly enter anybody's say. Omo de warrant go.
I don't know if a warrant.
You have no right to no, you can't do that. You cannot do that. Completely wrong. And this is not the first time we are seeing these things. And say yeah 24 Ghana ha yan kasa. Yes, president now who said the oil no onam kwan bone so a obeda sesa senyor no so na there he has to take action. Those elements who are going rogue in the state security apparatus no on share no deal with them because a good na ban ni hu fi and it's too early. These are not good signals. So enti asem no na yakusi me de minim se na planned or
unplanned. Yeah.
Beti ma ba se bia na da no judges normally tempi minim sa bia that day no mo yes omo ko pe bibia di na akohia me the last time I called our restaurant me share 2 ministers bi a check na me expect you so be but no mo share corner baby and I'm chia on ni edi nkomo na dem kwotran baby I check that must be about 4 or 5 years ago. So enti at the end of the day a almost response to the whole thing na a man look because never be was we genuine say we need problem there and once what kind of city here it's possible. So
Mate, Wontumi TV so live on Wontumi Radio 101.3 na ene area uti radio ura Kwabena Agyei Agyapong ena ofi hadoba yade no twetwe nkomo no na ye toa nkomo no so a say de yebra party matters so na mede yewura Kwabena Agyei Agyapong enwram because party no de onimu pa eyi na Kwabena bibisa ye toa ba ewie ye well party no ba ye yaba mu pa yaba mu pay ene ye lusu ene asaba power na ye lusu na what the party na chi for so long a time echem ye lusu ye no o hwe eye kwan a ye party mufo kasa we na ye wait binim say bia social media na ba be kan ye huntina ama ye tin several p na answer for so long a time no party no echo position no sa na ye poor and that's a ye kaya kuma so asem but nkakra no professor by Kukwe the committee report no so aba abonte as a veteran and also be a what the party the echi acheno sa lusu a ye lusu we say who say na fe ye rura nkono
okay asem a wo kan say on April 16 near called National Executive Committee meeting. We near call National Council meeting to receive Professor Opey's report. In fact, me and a national chairman, the general secretary, sorry and represented the whole National Council. Now, Minda Professor Opey and the committee members, I say.
Okasa we and so na offer party structure. NPP party mu niema ekoso. Efa omu from thank you to eba bepim how Professor Okwei the report any niema enye ewo party mu a in fact ama party ni ngina ne nan so even on one kasa chemu a watro book bi anase watro bibi a wa propose edi ama party no so omunye na omoya ebeboa ama party na hoden akosoro ama odo a ewo party nim no etimi ayeden akenya na wakansem wankasa wabonkofo achi ochiremu a edum blue light ya I mean jaye tohoi obi akọ NPP mpanfo bi akọ yedide bi akọ presente na chede anase the donation osisa ade no ni kwanse nke ekoso because it is wrong party amope nkabum party amoko position no sebi aye bakra na mu ina mo kwa eni kwanse ekoye se na podie di bomia die di dutwin die di bre champion die di na to die di and all those kind of things no I was say in a unity mujina faako na muyeden moko presenti say kakra yi na kika ensase edie ensem de Kwabena Agyei Agyapong waka bi eno fa bi no mega menene ya adwen because party NPP eda ho say there is nothing like unity. There is nothing absolutely like unity anymore senkabum obia obeka chese obeka se party da ho NPP sabe omo akomo abo no entro Nipakuro nim de okeka. Nipakuro nim de okeka, and it is true. Omanka so mo hono krado. They know say ekabo na bom te se dwonso sebi. Ebo akukwa ntwa. Yenkoda yenkuti nse ni bi. Se de oka e de to aso. Na yekoba e de na ka e to aso so. Ebedom anase de beto aso. E de ama yenti nse ni bi yekoba beto aso.
Edano me sorry ka say. Miraho. Na mpenifo party mu nyina ho, including former president Akufo-Addo, former vice president. Say na say yeko ekon ni yeko dinkugu a. Nya say na yeye. Na me bobɔ mpenifo no bi di, me mpese mesa abɔ mu din wa ha. Say esumesi gina aha. We na yeye. Emo obi kura akoye ye friend say survey a calculated percentages one will contribute and I'm saying enkugo na nya baby eno de untimi nsesa no enti we cannot be engrossed in way na say the here say report na ba no opani no on my verbal summary me so me kwa da bia mo notebook kitwa bi me ye notes ensem o kekan ade a o kan e kan makoma mu se na matiti o baby an say o se the NPP's electoral college system is broken. Sana Professor Okwe Kai. Mesa ko hear me notebook me note how I captured it, and I captured it the same way. So, intermediate enemy the idea na hear me say ukọ contest ana ulusu a ese wo retreat kakra. Na nse Catholic for Pope we Cardinals koshe them a friend conclave.
Yes.
Me na madwin say report near the man. Okay, said the elected officers of the party or steering committee na so. The party no atraba you. Any the key members of the campaign chairman, campaign manager, former general secretaries, yes, we need campaign. Nipa kakra some senior people, council of elders, nanka yakoshe conclave room sir. Say 2 days cry. Now the Ronibeka say you distill from the report critical areas are here implementation of fresh initiatives because the oye way there eno there enkugo na anya bawie ena ensem ni bi ho a ye kano a eye aban mu nsem sese so ye ni aban mu enti we a wontimi nya ho hwe sua na obetimi asua se daache nyankopon ye ya dom na Ghana fofo aye so na ekọ aban mu a suban bi wo ho a eye se yesesa no enso so beti na weti radio so we emfata me makase ye di nkugo se no so ye NPP ni na ukujina radio so na TV so ese obusa ho se asemo a meken nkranhye be na mede ma me party fo enigye be na mede ma Ghana fo gidie be na mede ma Ghana fo momo ahwe yeye na daache no nyame ye adoma o masan enya gidie we mu that should determine the conduct enti womo enam kasa ebufo so edidi atem ni ade no enye because we need to present a more polished image of ourselves as a political party. That is what our supporters want. Because Osha figures now is very clear. Just a little cursory summary. Just a Osha figures, no, just on top of it. 2020, candidate Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, 6.7 plus. Candidate Mahama, former president, 6.2 plus. 4 years down the line, after you add 2 million to the electoral register, candidate Mahama, now President Mahama, around 200 more. I think it's even less than 200, thereabouts. And Onya is a 6.4. Normally, by any statistical progression, my statistics, engineering, they say, can near normal. You should have moved from 6.7 to 6.97 or 7.1. But yet tiba from 4.6. She say, yeah, call support and crop for as sympathizers or more payers. Woman MPA or more catch so near tea, but near feel say, oh, ye campaign na e Kenya nipa last obe ginger no ma beto aban but em say na o ma decide e ko ban sa wo de ra wakoma so ne say wo as a party person party penny e die na sese ye be ya ye nkrofo a wo ma free echi the lost flock ye be da atwe o masan ba back eno ne hia wo claim wo lost flock na ansa na wadwene say obekwa kopa bi wo ba bi abeka ho because me dem gide say say ye call support no kwa to my ka bai ka bia na to say so na me sure that's right NDC for the ubia no NDC ni bia out between so enti adeswa e dai so ne say subanpa kasapa enidie nuado say eno na ese de efre nkrofo say look the amamu buafu yate musun semo amoka na yetie enti na mfu say report no no a call around the whole country omu chiche omu visited all the 276 constituencies enti omu nim the party for no how and they've captured it in a report. And for me, that is the most important thing I say.
But wait a quick one. BBC said they can conclave no Ediano. Already now, they say party they decided say making public well be a but the person about NPP but or no. A write up be with the Facebook wall. I don't feel say or say no echo rounds no or no dream cabo contributing omo aye hwehwemu nyina awie na omo ye hwehwemu no kra na yentumi issue executive summary of a report no omo enye executive summary of a sa report no kra bo bia hu na report no ewomu na omo wie ye omo so omo fa constitutional amendment and right you bisa based on what data facts the diagnosis na omo de sa
mia minu akitwa ene cancer me mo ni din bodo enim no eno so menene nya adwen ne kwaso no corporate entity designs a structure a strategy and outdoors the strategy because the competitors be here so enti say ye be ma de na public there e bi nsi da ye nyen sada a responsible party will not do that nemom SM penifo amebubo din kakra bitimi ko into conclave ne ekohwe ne hu edie ne betu asua afrimu de party for no kan de no mo pese ye beye ebema to makoma so a mo beto mo yem no masan bedom yen those are the things and the measures that we are supposed to implement are attractive on back to us and earn the respect and the trust of the Ghanaian electorate eno ne hian enema e call bone no de yehu na ye de ahye ekotodwem na ye de abobra ye mefa nto abonten ye hohoro ye nto mafin e wa abonten enti me de ha me ne se de wa kan ye no nko mehu se mpanimfo no bi so enam no wo mo make copious references to the report and I thought that is wrong because me who report ya van che ubia ye nyina so hu ye minti ase say adansi na ebinum de omo report na omutimi ko to say Professor Okwe report and say ye na sa na che party we are not being even handed say ye even handed nyina ye mpanimfo ke say ye penipa kakra bi ye hu say a sensitive report enye say pie na emum de say yesu afiri mu a ye de beto abonten e be ma ye party for ne hu say de omo kan omo sun no ye tie enti na me de sa proposal see because me tie Professor Okwe on se ne mebu a obetimi aka te se dem kan na de atwam ti untimi nya ho hwe se wo kase bia na party for no ya hwe won ana se yi appointees no na o ma asem no de e se wo opposition
eno ya spilled milk
afiegu awie enti endo esi esua bibifu na de to ho na de to ekotodwem na daachi bi no nyankopon ye adom na yeti ye ne nsaka yetu ye hofo ne aye ne ye so na mom ne ma bi ho so e betimi asesa na nimu ya nti o cancer electoral college ne broken meso me ye press secretary to president for na mo number bi party phone nim to obi aye platform na mo de me atoso the platforms be we are going to me the ahomache na me time na me go through na mpese me hu o ma dwen ni o mo comments ni nema ha wo mo enti me hu say ade a eye unanimous obi agitum ni say Ghana ha we live a communal way. Nti ubako fie ba ko na bi a families 40 neti ho. We NPP ni, but we a polling station executive. But na or the flat screen aba. Next time ubako parliamentary there, no the fridge aba. Presidential beba na Ukraine fi se bonu na tifia, o yire hwe ne nkwan ne yire nkwan mu na mo huri na ne de mu kware sa na.
Party crew, yeah.
That's right. Enti mpenifo no korona no mo tese nkrofo ka chirom se mo na makogiji musika na mo elect mu nipa ne mo nko amonkoto maba. Enti yemie no, it has been a cry from a lot of people. Nyene. But de bia ya na ya twa sen. Enti the perfect thing would be say ka obi a oye party ni ba. A crack card what you any dues there ko otimi eto abano the friend of 1 man 1 vote and for and a static can was a minute nanso so achieving that no enye ade e da form it's got logistical challenges. They say sa plastic card no, my memory serves me right as say we here bear 20 cities to 30 cities to do what the fancy nipa 4.6 eto about mu bear 1 million and 2 million cry and say on bear registered members some person moto internal elections sika obede sika do kwa ye cards be 1 million enye sika ketwa your opposition and even the logistical architecture e be deploy sa cards to make sure say obi enya ne de enya de edafo. As we stand now, the last time I checked with the IT department, if my info is right, the number of members in Cracker there be 137 and I say 137,000 if my memory serves me right. And teacher say nipa 200 and something thousand there two primaries back on the maybe you are no money card. And to me feel say the next best thing and I may a proposal no say yeah country party for na dey ya party me say wasum party na ye kwa onka ho bi. Why a MP be at 3 terms? Why a chairman of a constituency? Why a polling station chairman? Why a Juma? Say uni hobby until you try back and say amount to me. Say see a PC a be mudia. And me feel say the first responsibility that we have is to those who have actually served the party. So, NT say 2022 polling station for now. Uko 2018 there was a set or still kakra befra wim, there's no doubt. But there's a lot of spillover. Uko 2014 omu ane ohono omu ntua be we bi. Uko 2010 entity me generate all these numbers are one ebe increase electoral base no eno ne grassroots no na nipa na dos na sikatia no so akofom because say etimi ye na etimi bro 1 million and I say 1.5
yes old dormant if omunyina
baby a me be gina secretary over 10 years ago me be inherit me share north me amikrom kumawu dwabe joso baby o amampo problems see us for enya sem kutu up to today because police station be MP we ba no yi we afrim we ba no yi we afrim de me can say asem fa na asem nko obi a waye polling station executive de bia no ye man voting right intimate say let the party accept this and task every constituency someone create a caucus because they say
every constituency
create a caucus that includes all former executives of the party officers and the current. So, it is a 92, so that time any polling stations, near wards. But, independent that yasi, Pierre Woody, but me feel says, oh, Tias and Quano bet me, I bet Twaba. I see a man who quine, no betwaba. And a party no, and Tokwa a bad polling station, and say, a month for him say, oh, you are on our 5 now. A drew chairman election over here, a drew a parliamentary. obeje kakra edu regional se nti na ani bre ene ntokwa na se yenyina ti ase agitum se je nipa 5 no nkwa na etu na omo na wo hadadafo na dadafo ti ase nkwa omo nyina betu bi obi no e minister ye be se penimu ti se kodwedi dako ana se ya berima ya berima no kufodu ani job what the minister of works and housing why is it what the MP enti ene ye to abakofodu am se ye on to be because onye member of parliament bi o sa na ye o nim de o achitafo o abusuan o mu hunu se ya neglect na sa e be affect wo mo minia penny crunchy why Ashanti regional secretary o tidwaso Santi Achim South di akotene president Akufo-Addo campaign 1998 onso tifienti ye to aba on to be say ye na sa na ya anye ne ye enti me say we MP dada we current we DC so awaye odwuma constituency ho omu nyina yenye nti we should until we list na sem the document omu ye founding members dom to dada PAU but kakra ho so polling station executives no any ward executives no omu etiase no yen ko compile o mai ni senti akeke me kan san
it's not just a list no comprises a founded members polling station executives,
yes,
electoral area coordinators, constituency executives, constituency patrons, constituency council of elders, yes, members of parliament,
yes,
ministers,
members are both past and present,
okay, and ministers and deputy ministers. MMDC is and a TESCON branch executive. Wow, that's a base no.
What branch base no? The constituency be ho, na say tertiary institution be ho, party headquarters. I ratify say we there recognize it say TESCON nya president don kwa na say ka so meto aba yema at least ni executives no nyina emeka ho because we are finding a way to increase the numbers but yem fan crofo a betimi ogidi om so mo ye NPP for o maso en ene no so no obi antimi manipulate because no omo ho dada even in 2008 enti omo they are obroni beka they are quantifiable, well known, and therefore verifiable. So them enti me ka say yen kreti caucuses in all the 276 constituencies na yema executives no enko back because me am krom papa krom kuma open here say no chairman first otiase odetiase enti say to aba penedi say to be
that is was some party nti no and say
ono so me say o executives that time 92 for no be detiase almost be who word for no be e bi detiase say expanding kakra sa ye benya ye betwam 1.5 million kra and now say be kra 2 million e ko ba ne sa one there's a sense of inclusivity obi afisa meka ho and then me to aba ne bi no come with pride enti sa moyi me afi ho de na mo nkoye no e betwa enti apathy no e be ba form
not double because what kind so almost we busuya dey ko fu am feel say be as why party
party afi de onye chairman
yes
ko background to be ne man nyina na o majai party
no correct
so onya sorry say na meka ho bi ye to aba bon say Kenya wo so it will excite the base of our party, it will rejuvenate the base of our party, and then we can get our party back to basics. So and no na meka said this is the next best thing. Say timi nye one man one vote and no to achieve it within this year a capital injection no wo de yenye we mu de ye adwuma so onwui anaze on free NPP so we jai wa ko dom party for there otimi to be enti ye timi ko conference July ni ye gitum a na party for ni nyina te se de ye nti hwe kwadwo so hwense mo si emi modi obeti esi we abeyi we 400 afrim obeti esi wo mu nyina no they know how 2008 they know how 20 hwan omu nyina betu bia bo ho ani je ebeba party mo because now they are all participating in the decision making process ekobane said the opekra anwene a obeji atum se dodo na anto amane de nanso so since we ka ho nti no obeye campaign as support the eventual winner. Sir Agyei Winner KAA, former general secretary, former press secretary to President Kufo. Experience kakra me experience free me penny for we. Me say yenwene ho ne yemfa no sa
did the shortest possible
na yetimi bie mu wi a I don't know two nyema miensa na mekan.
Yeah, because the next one here, the order of presidential.
I know. Can say no ballast.
Can say no the ballast.
Because I know any constitutional amendment.
Okay.
And from so free me. And no can say ballast. The second one is say in the constitution you were super delegates.
Super delegates, okay.
Yeah, say because who can say 17. How many are brandy? Nti amanfo bi feel say 17 no can ho na elusu 2008 nti inkaso. Of course they may have a point at the time, but 17 menyini se be say that asheda enya bio. So until after that no say 6 7 10 yeah. And the national elections year 2024 say na nipa na 13 and so say yes. So until we feel say super delegates yentu because and also it lends itself to monetary manipulation. Nipa also. In fact, a sign unrepresentative and unfair. Unim say overseas delegates from branches and also same constituency. Constituency super delegates chairman Penetwaba. Okay. Inti kwabre to aba 120,000 80,000 no ne ade no. Nipa ba akope na ekoto. Branch be or Norway, meaning say omudru 100 so we 200 cry. Almost the nipa 3. What be that? What is the equity in this? There's no equity in this. Me just say me time because me feel say such as equitable. Because Bantumani Shia so no constituency akese domi Kwabena no nipa ba ko na eto na China I used the 3 delegates. What be that?
Papa yenim.
Enim. Enti yentumu. Ena no so nipa no so. Se me Oscar. Ti se de bi Oscar no. Oba bosikatio. Obetima target nipa be 400 500. Oh, nipa no so. Ti se 20,000 50,000 crown Oscar. Obetima antua. Yesu nyina nse wiase. Anya sikati mi enema. So, na wafa vote ni nyina. Enti me feel say sa clause no, it has to be expunged.
And article 13(9). All right,
it has to be expunged. Now make us say we nyina na etimi accept say ye bie yinum ye more than 1 million or more cra delegates ebeto aba no monetary manipulation no ebe wo form no dia nka me ma dwen say nka yenye presidential election no first ni senti America na say say you to baby be na tensions no doors. Na say ya ejashi wo
blue lights edum yeah
ade because me as an NPP person me rehoye baby amako bi asia mpese meka because I think say edwene ho Dr. Baumia koye ni presentation even the running mate koye ni dey separate
yeah
napo aduchu koye ni dey Canada Japan ko ene die Brian e champion ko ene die ya abu ama ko ene die na atoshi ko ene die minority leader ko ene die party ni nyina so ti general secretary so ko ene die ni senti na nyina ndimi ankasa sikase ne wa general secretary ni chairman ye ba bi dimo chi na mu kamum ne mfanko so that we present a very unified picture. Because I don't know and send good optics about the party. Just say, yeah, here, a individuals we are. I don't so party no money here. Party no money any deal. Party no peja ni peja. You move be anywhere you be. Say party no peja. Now ye peja. Timedia osuno ena meso. Enunti we cry e ko child charity cry he dey see. Nti ene omo esi starting elections o hana nka se ne ye kotoba ewo constituencies we be ha we di sika ba we say ye be wie no esi chairman no dabrewa den ni nipa ana Kwabena Agyei Agyapong nipa ana jo gate nipa ana sane pese no enti me feel say to the bia esa so san wana montuo eno so de enye constitutional amendment because National Council will to me say almost vary date no deadline dey amaya constitution no chere say 24 months to say your opposition, which is the case now. Into without infringing the constitution, they don't need any amendment. And the end amendment, to protect the party, to have a party that is well together. And
first, to protect the party.
Because see it me expanded anywhere first. They expanded no na me person me come obiate. Maybe no funny different. And the more media, yeah, no more picky bibia a sensation. Anti me interview new I didn't match on your mammy, sir. Near ye a 2 free Fijian. Kwabena Agyapong says early Congress. Man, Casa, my more Congress D. The American say, Yensha party no party for Nani, no be a mission, no musa or cajon or 2 beer a ye. Now see to me and Saji 2 near registers, no make sure say. The voters list in each constituency is sanitized. Near to me, who near to me a beamwa. Me feel say that is the base of the party. So at that time, no National Council dream if you say to presidential na yento because national officers, no regional officers, constituencies, or more tenured office, 4 years. Untimi nketeli. And also back 2026. As I say, so baby ejina no enye. Ye kase ye 2026 and san ye bibia e be hadwen. Nti de betima ye ntem no. Ye nye no ntem. Ko cancer adwene binum kra nyimi ne yefi se dabre me ya ma obi o me nye ma obi
ai also be class the comment
me party penny party no I say this in all humility omo party me say manyini sin dodo no ana ma che wo party mu sin dodo na beto me wo party mu me so me 2007 na friend mujam no I contested last time I contested enti the chances are that I'll contest again. But near no hear me. Party near very build no, I am strong no. Enona hear me. Nti asema makano. Muntie na supem se ekwan de be fa so be boa party no because yenya opin base no so. Near to near my who be 3, 4, 5 months yen to aba na wie. Na 2026 yeah. Constituency elections near the Obia wo baby anum say me baba yire me ho ma beta flag bearer na chi enti papa mu ni ade nyina eni ho ebinom say oh na Kwabena say we na sa so flag bearer no yes because dictation na ba ni nyina is because be a usuro say we na ntem na the chairman we minipa sa na waboa me na wa we ni bia and then how was it una okope MP would a presidential candidate I don't think say under normal circumstances say a to Obama not why a presidential candidate who chance will be a babe bow who cry now who at because do I a candidate will be a current in my house chairman it saves everybody money. The chances are that this will heal the party better. It's better than having it before, in my personal and humble opinion. So, who them issue? Not
just I don't know. Can you for the better presidential? Expanded. Okay. Expanded.
With the second paragraph.
Okay. Let's see if okay. And yet mention for a first list otherwise
the build a list no
okay
second paragraph no?
All right
also my highlight after the expansion of the electoral
okay I have this one all right I don't know whether order of to reduce tension which has everyone to reduce tension associated with the numerous elections the party conducts at various levels ahead of the presidential candidate election. It is proposed that the presidential primaries be held first after the expansion of the electoral college, and this approach aligns with the Article 13(1) of the party's current constitution and promotes a more logical and less contentious electoral timeline. Okay, and I have it jumps to 3. Maybe the other way jumps to 3. So expulsion, the expulsion of a year, Article 39. It's further proposed that Article 39 of the Constitution, which mandates the formation of a special electoral college to trim presidential aspirants 5, be expunged, and the current structure of this special college, comprising fewer than 1,000.
900.
Okay, fewer than 1,000 members is susceptible to manipulation and undermines democratic fairness. A broader, more inclusive process is recommended.
Yes.
Okay.
A newly expanded electoral college.
Okay.
And only the most important thing, number one, to expand the electoral college.
Then that will solve about
solve your problems, baby. Constituencies now been matiatna because we are no support to NPP na next one by we in free money omina say omina bu beto yem because om to abanibi. So them show obi o ha e mpenifo bi frames corona CEO so yes I'm say yes CEO there an appointee of the president. Me pese adene no obi be feel say be a president be war undue advantage. So we are appointee because president with me appointee will be cry onye MPP ni so onye CEO.
Yes.
No but name we are appointee na wa boa constituency bia. Wa boa because of the sika ne niema bebre akosom. It means you are a patron. Patrons so mo di wo. And so you see you now why you Juma or constituency, they can put your name down as a patron of my constituency until you have a voting right. So when them sure until be person CEOs ni deputy CEOs ni who say one more year or more year Juma constituencies no. They can be fielded as patrons of the constituency. So when them sure until one more year covered we are ambassadors, but ambassador or a diplomatic and a career. A business political appointees. Let's say, no, they are boa constituency be near there. Constituency makers, ambassador way, Tembia no be boy. So with the mission. Inti
Mate. And so, a year after 4 days at TF4, a year, Ura, Kwabena Agyapong. The proposal on also at the Kuba party in Penny4 say Omumpo. Na nyame eya adom na yebeko congress a yenhwe na bia ye consider we no nyina ebeboa.
So it is crystal clear se Kwabena Agyei Agyapong Ajatum Sampa party MPP. There is no peace, there is no unity, there is no tranquility, there is no serenity, there is no even fairness in him. I don't think what propose say book no ediamom. Na so mujai arrogant na se omoto omoboase esua se buku na enka ebebo omo papa enka ebebo omo because panic and Kwabena Agyei Agyapong kan yeze bia on so hwe ne koti ne nkase o kan nyana o preach about unity, o preach about nkabom ono ankasa nyina oze ono nka na bi shi ze obi opesa o ye fragba but other aspirant bi ze bomia and omo ka nyina omo ko gina platforms so omo campaign mo bomia na esi ko gina lending MPP for ombre kono mo a release statement press release the about say no internal party campaign but na bomia plemu na ono a wadi party ni mpende party na ko shegatam ewo I mean agopramaso bra mu esi akan we elections about akan opanyina akogire bibi yeden san bodawru se nkrofo ento emano on the day it will say that's a papa kede Japan so tisim no so yebia omo beja ba omi ade na wo omo beka ya papa kede akompre kodie because ono ene se bi nimu ha ono ene se bi owa akoma edi so nsem so And the party na down. And painful nankasa, they have no unity among themselves. Omuni nkabumbia o. Omuni nkabumbia. The omuni mani se yendi mayindi bi ntuti Kwabena Agyei Agyapong ka nensa boka ni na idem trudo e wo se party no they would deserve se was or to abano. That person must be inclusive or must be included. All those people, they must be included. E wo so mo di oboka ho. To exclude somebody, no, do you know how painful it is? On the brand NPP for Moko Super Delegate Conference, that is 2023. Mukoya call last rally on the November 4th. Mukoyi Dr. Muhammad Bomiano. Party forecast say the food soldiers, the party supporters, the party grassroots for Ekase. Samako Mukoyi Bomia Baye, Yempeno, Intian Tumano. Ampa, they stood on their what? Rules, they stood on their what? Their statement. And they did not vote. Majority of NPP for Omantoaba in last election. And they know it because of Obufua nature Bobo, because of how things were done. And say there is no need for them to come out and exercise their what? Franchise. That is what happened. It is NPP for winning a money na mo nenam ɛresan campaign mo nenam ɛreyɛ mo campaign yɛnto abama simisia. It tells you say there is another lose and I said there is another failure ahead of you. Yes, na mo nya tena se ɛlɛ mo lessons nya mo lessons. Then it tells you that there is another failure. There is another what? Another lose election ahead of you. But if you sit down and change your ways, I think things are going to be easy for you. Things are going to be okay with you. It become lose, but the margin now would lose you. The last election, that is humiliating and embarrassing. In fact, it was so frustrating. If you are doing that kind of percentage, I'm on record it. That kind of percentage, if you're not record it. But if you decide, say, oh, it is going to affect you and it will affect your what the general election that will let you be in a position for a decade. And you Kwabena Agyei Agyapong Sebo we NPP for me about a lot of sense inside, a lot of way Ubibeka say, oh, so they were here for party or pay a bine party and oh, you see, no, you see, move for the serious. By the time Mubehu say the Okano is serious, I just say, Emrene ko, we are Mushi. I was not for Messrs also document betum now like in our share now for food and you be a hanum, and you are number one authentic platform, Mega TV, you go so SM, the best of this. Or bad any other. Say, Shamima Micheba for Yanko Show, United States of America, Mammy, we be UK, no be a Mega TV. I salute you, Abusia, the could. Pinya ni pitiri ma memfa wo nsi na foforo entoa so emfa embra wate ase eti we ye nsem a yewura Kwabena Agyei Agyapong so wa react to Adenta Kumi na arrest any chamber Wontumi and the other matters that is related to NPP omo failures any omo disunity any omo nneɛma a ɛkɔ so party mu nyinaa no ɛno ɛna yewura Kwabena Agyei Agyapong wa propose sɛ monyɛ dɛ momfa wei na momfa wei a ɛbɛbɔ mo party no to mpɔn. With the NPP for the money,